Real talk. If he averages 40 on the best defensive player ever, you not think I'm coming for you? You won't be able to breathe.
Talking about how Wemby defense.
No. Real talk won't be able to breathe.
What are you talking about?
Because you know what? No,
Ben.
Nah, shut up. No, you shut up. What's gonna happen is, Ben? I'm gonna say Bill Russell couldn't do it. Kevin Garnett couldn't do it. Hakeem couldn't do it. Wemby couldn't do it. You could put. Matter of fact, he cooked Anthony Davis. Real talk, boy, who he picked to beat Denver in 2023. He was fried Anthony Davis, smacking him on the butt after he was done.
I'm about to share this playoff picture right now. I want you guys to let me know just how far you guys really got the Nuggets going. And this is obviously based off a snapshot of today. Things can change. Lakers can move down. They can move up. There's a couple other teams that could potentially move up too. Obviously, we still have to project play-in and all of that good stuff. But you guys talk to me. So the Nuggets right now are the 3 seed. They just overtook the Lakers. Lakers fell to the 4th. It will be them and the Rockets if the playoffs were to start today. The Nuggets would have the Timberwolves. OKC and the Spurs, they would get OKC would get the lesser of who's in the play-in, and the Spurs would get the best team that comes out of the play-in or the highest ranked team. However, Denver, Minnesota, first round. How are we liking that series or disliking it?
Depends on how healthy Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels are. I know they're both dealing with some injuries right now. Apparently, Anthony Edwards is dealing with a similar injury that kept Steph Curry out for 27 some odd games, and Jaden McDaniels is dealing with something with the patella tendon, I believe. Damn. So that depends. If Minnesota was healthy, I would pick Minnesota. I would have Denver going home in round 1, but if they're not going to be healthy, then Denver probably advances to lose to the Spurs in round 2, but they're not going past the second round. To your question of how far do I think Denver's going?
Okay. Does anybody else up here have them losing to the Wolves?
I mean,
it's been a completely different matchup this year. They haven't been able to guard Denver at all.
I don't think Ant's healthy, so I'm kind of with real talk. It's kind of right now I don't see them doing much considering that. But if he is healthy, I probably favor the Nuggets, but it's closer, obviously.
And we'll have about 10 days. I know the regular season ends on the 12th, which is this Sunday. And then I assume playoffs start, a week later? Let me actually look it up.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, I'm probably about 2 weeks, I'd assume, until the playoffs start.
By the way, that'll be a fun series. If we get it, that's going to be the series in the first round.
I just think OKC has such an easy path to the finals right now. Like either Rockets or Lakers, I'm picking them. Clippers, Suns, Blazers, whoever, I'm picking them.
Yeah, they don't troll. They can get out there and 8-0.
Easy. And they're going to be rested. Jeez. And then
Luka might be back by the second round.
But then
the Lakers ain't getting the first round.
The Lakers definitely not getting the first round. So they could 4-0 whoever they face in the first round. They 4-0 Lakers or Rockets, probably Rockets, because the Lakers are not going to be anything in the playoffs unless Luka comes back. Denver has a knife fight against Minnesota if they're healthy. And then if they get out of that series, then they got another knife fight against either the Clippers or the Spurs. That's two tough. So you don't want to be beat up and then you go to OKC.
But the thing is, I said this online, playing versus those teams as opposed to playing OKC, that's the easiest thing in the world in the sense of they don't face the same defensive pressure. If they can just not have to worry about going through the gauntlet of dealing with OKC's defense and how physical and the whistle stuff, and they can get that in the Western Conference Finals, then that's a different story. But
you're out of your mind if you think Minnesota isn't going to apply real defensive pressure.
No, they are, but Minnesota single coverage. That's the difference.
If Anthony Edwards is healthy, he's the second best player in that series, I think.
Well, no,
and also playoff in the Nuggets series. I think he's the second best player. I think he's going to thoroughly outplay Jamal Murray.
I mean, that's maybe, but Jamal's been frying the Wolves this year too. I think that's, but I think that's the problem though. I think if you watch, this is why I think people are hanging up on the couple years with the Wolves, and these are two different teams this year. And I think the other issue is the reason I say that real talk is Rudy's going to single cover Yoke, and then they're going to put whoever else in the game, obviously, and that's going to be Julius Randle. it's just a night and day difference when Jokic and Gordon and them have to deal with that as opposed to deal with like the swarm of like OKC.
But I don't think they're going to do that.
They're deeper than they were last year.
I honestly don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to experiment with Julius guarding Yoke with Rudy backline.
Yeah, that's over, bro.
I mean, you can say that, but I'm
saying Julius is a horrific.
They're not going to just single coverage Nikola Jokic with Rudy Gobert the whole game. Judging
Kyle Anderson, man, just wait.
Yeah, Kyle Anderson will play.
I'm not saying it's going to work or whatnot. I'm just saying that's not going to be their game plan. Is we're just going to have Rudy Gobert guard Jokic the whole game. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's real talk. Remember, that's what I mean about the matchups are different now. Julius Randle being that person as opposed to Cat, he's way worse at a lot of that stuff, and he just is not as like engaged. And one of the reasons Jokic is having his way now with the Wolves, it's like again the 39 points a game since the turn of the last 2 years or whatever. It's just they just can't defend him anymore the way they used to. And again, Nikhil's the biggest. You said what would you say?
Y'all can't defend Ant.
They defend Ant way better. They defend Ant way better than they can defend their guys though, including Murray, because they can just throw bodies at Ant. And now the other side of this is go ahead.
But I'm saying like the 2 games I've seen them play y'all, he dropped like the 40-something,
44 on the Christmas game,
and then y'all made an adjustment. But like the adjustment is, hey, we have to double them and blitz them 40 feet away from the basket, which just makes offense easier for the rest of the team. So I don't deem that as guarding him. I don't.
But now you also have Dante DiVincenzo plus Ayo Dosunmu. Ayo, I think, breaks this entire situation where I think that's a dimension to the team that they didn't have last year. I'm telling you, I think the Minnesota Timberwolves are a sneaky, really sneaky title contender. They're the only team that is worse than.
When is Ant supposed to come back?
Their vibe is down in the mud though.
Wouldn't be surprised if he's out for like the rest of the regular season.
Yeah, he'll probably sit out there.
He's playing for nothing in terms of accolades now. So why not?
Yeah, but even still, I think they said he has an injury similar to Steph's.
Yeah, for real.
He has runner's knee. Yeah, he has runner's knee.
Yeah, so that means he might be out for a little minute.
Well, runner's knee is just about overworking and overuse. It's probably just harder for a 60-year-old to come back from it than a 24-year-old. But yeah,
runner's knee hurt though, Mark.
For sure. That's why you can't be playing. But it's not something that's like structural damage more so than you need to just rest and let everything around the knee heal up. Like so. Just don't play him for the rest of the season. The play-in, obviously, if they drop into the play-in, so if Phoenix were to catch him, that ruins everything because you'd rather have that time off. So it's in Minnesota's best interest to make sure they stay at 6. Can they get to 5 still, or are they kind of stuck?
Yeah, they can. They can get to 4 technically.
So
realistically, they're probably just going to stay at 6.
But
it's in their best interest to stay at 6.
With runner's knee, because I've had that before, but I always just stop playing because that shit hurt. If you keep playing, will it like hurt some more shit or like what?
You mean like it's probably? Are you asking like is it an injury of pain tolerance? Like,
yeah, because I couldn't tolerate that shit. That shit hurt.
It's not something that's like you playing on it now. You're gonna tear your Achilles. It's not that, but it can lead to, in order to avoid the pain, you change your gait, you change the way you're running, which can then lead to hamstring injuries, etc. So like it doesn't directly just lead to other injuries, but like indirectly, because you're trying to avoid the pain of running on it, you might do different things that might lead to like a hip injury or hamstring, etc. So that's kind of what you gotta be careful with.
I just stopped.
Play through that.
Last summer I had that shit. That shit hurt.
Yeah, in the playoffs, if Ant's still dealing with it, he's gonna play. Yeah, like he's
going. He's gonna get a little bit of a syringe injection anyway, so he will not be feeling that.
Oh boy, I know, Swiper. You probably seen it. You ever seen like somebody get their knee drained? That shit look disgusting and it's painful as shit.
I posted that nasty shit on
also his knee drained like a week ago.
How is all that in your knee?
It's a build up.
That wasn't nothing. But the last time I got my knee drained, it filled up like the whole thing. That one right there.
That's why Ox be resonating with Kawhi. You guys don't be understanding. I know what he going through, man. Like, you guys be hating. You ain't have to go through this. I understand.
It's already my knee already swollen again.
I want to move it on to the second round, though, because for the most part, everybody has the Denver Nuggets advancing past the Minnesota Timberwolves. So now we have the Denver Nuggets and the San Antonio Spurs. Who all has the Nuggets getting past the Spurs into the conference finals?
That'd be a fun series, bro. And when we gonna guard Yoke straight up, that's gonna be a fun series.
I hope not.
I hope he does. I hope it happens.
I mean, for entertainment, it's cool, but for Spurs' chances of winning,
absolutely.
And then Peyton Jones back too, so they can't keep doing that nonsense and switching on the small.
Mars, who's the best Jokic matchup that you would go with? Keldon Johnson
on the Spurs?
Mm-hmm.
God damn. Keldon or double big with Cornette probably.
That's what they're going to try. I definitely know Cornette and Wemby will be on the court.
The reality is they probably don't have a good Jokic matchup, but not many teams do. But yeah, it wouldn't be Wemby if it was up to me. You lose too much of his value.
Ironically, a team that does have a pretty good Jokic matchup, I think, would be Denver. Aaron Gordon. Yeah, Aaron
with
Gordon.
Jokic roaming.
Is this like the OKC conversation?
No. I don't think so. I don't know what OKC conversation.
I'm saying because like how people talk about how
the best
Shea
team
doesn't have to. Yeah.
Yeah. I got you. I got the Spurs, man. I think watching this team yesterday go up against the Philadelphia 76ers when Wemby went out, I was like, okay, here comes Embiid, right? Because he's gonna fry Luke Cornette. And then they just go with Keldon Johnson and Carter Bryant at the 4-5. And I'm just like, my God, this team has endless counters. Their roster is so versatile. Dylan Harper is quickly becoming one of my favorite guards in the NBA, if he hasn't been already. I think he's amazing. And Steph Castle is a dog, man. So it's just like, I look at that and I'm just like, if you could have De'Aaron Fox is just kind of like hanging around, just waiting for the fourth quarter to take over, this team is so dangerous. And if Wemby's healthy, give me a 7-game series. Give me the Spurs.
I gotta say,
the Spurs team is really good.
And in danger of sounding like a casual, because I do understand where, certain defenders' value comes from, and I also understand, even though we had that conversation about LeBron and Kawhi, I understand how important help defense is. I do, trust me. I do value on-ball defense more. I do. I'm sorry. In danger of sounding like a casual. I do have to say this, though. If I can't put the best defender that we've ever seen, the best defender that will ever be, if I can't put him on the best offensive engine I've ever seen, that's a problem, man. That's a problem for me.
I don't think you believe either one of those statements to be true. I don't think you think
I don't have to believe it, but it's objectively true, right? So since it is objectively true, I have a problem with that. I have a problem that I can't put the best defender I've ever seen on the best offensive player there's ever been. I think that.
I think you can do it. I just don't think you're maximizing Wemby, and then in turn, I don't think you're maximizing your defense. And that's just more about matchup. Wemby's most value is taking away the basket. Jokic is going to drag him away from there. But it's just you're not getting the best out of
Wemby. Funny story.
Ego.
When
ego. That's all it is. That's all ego.
Hooven, you shout out to Tyler. Did a little video the other day, and I talked about this on Locked On a little bit. In the 7-game
video.
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta be disrespectful.
No, did you watch the video or did you just summarize it?
I watched the entire thing.
What video are we talking about?
I watched the one.
It was a video that I seen.
Okay. Anyway, but did you in the 7 games they played each other when Wemby's on the floor defensively with Jokic? They have a 124 defensive rating. The Spurs do, in all the games they played together in the 7.
You said who?
When the Spurs have Wemby on the floor with Jokic, the Spurs have a 124 defensive rating on or off guarding Jokic. And some of this
the Spurs' offensive rating though.
Well, it's way worse because they've obviously lost by double digits, and so it's like probably like a 118, 119 or something like that. I can't remember the exact.
It was by double digits win.
The Spurs don't typically tend to struggle to score against the Nuggets. It's just they can't guard them.
Yeah, And then
nobody struggles to score against the Nuggets.
A lot of people do actually. Yesterday happened. The Spurs did it in the fourth quarter. The Spurs literally could not score in the fourth quarter.
I'm not talking about teams like the Blazers.
Stretches their lead.
I'm not talking about the Blazers.
I think they were 10th in defense, by the way, going into that game in the last 9 games. But I will say
9 game sample.
Okay. Well, Luka,
they
the world.
30
game sample size.
Philadelphia 76.
But I do think some of this is even when they put Wemby on somebody else. The problem is the Nuggets have so much spacing now that like. Wemby cheating is like it does give them like some leeway because at that point, and also it's not just if you put Jokic on a smaller matchup, Wemby has to come over, like he has to come help. So then now Jokic is like cool, he's doing the he's doing the sonar thing, and then he throws the ball to Tim Hardaway Jr. or Jamal or Cam or Gordon or whoever. Or Peyton Watson who's shooting 45% of corner threes this year.
Well, ideally it's Christian Brown.
Ideally. Hey, but then ideally
or Bruce Brown. Like it's one of the Browns.
But guess what? That's the top of the second quarter. Bruce will be in there. But again, Bruce is shooting 41. I know, low volume, extremely low. He's shooting 42% from threes in January 1st. So again, very low volume. I can't hear you, Ron.
Y'all don't have a good matchup to stop Dylan Harper at the rim. I hate to tell you this, but like
Dylan Harper got strapped by Cam. Shout out to Dylan though.
You talking about the one start when the clock?
He got blocked him at the rim too.
No, I think you're okay. Like, look,
I have no bad things to say about Spurs. So
cool. like I'm on record saying I think Jokic is very underrated as a defender, but where he is vulnerable is obviously at the rim, and where he is vulnerable is where. In the playoffs too. Steph Castle and Dylan Harper are gonna feast at the rim because you don't have and De'Aaron Fox. So you got 1, 2, 3. You got no breaks.
Keldon Johnson
and Jonas Valanciunas might be unplayable in that series. So I'm just saying, like, I would throw all the regular season paper out because they got athletes. Keldon Johnson is a beast going to the rim. Devin Vassell can get to the rim.
I wouldn't say a beast. He's like nice Grant Williams makeup, but he's
like a wrecking ball type.
Yeah, exactly. Which is not going to be easy for Jamal Murray to deal with. And so I'm just saying, like, Jamal Murray is going to have to actually guard like somebody. He's going to have to guard somebody. Jokic is going to have to guard well. And
Jokic is going to be on Champagne.
That is, of course, sure. Or Castle, but like again, like this is not positive. I think,
but Castle's not. But Jokic, the best thing you can do at Jokic, and I think this is the difference. Is like, and Jokic has proven this time and time again in playoff runs and like high leverage games. The best thing you can do to Jokic is try to drive on him with like guards, because at that point he's going to use his size. That works for him. The issue with Jokic is like the shooting. Like if you shoot over the top,
can also draw fouls though, and
right.
Jokic ain't about to pick up 2 fouls in the first. If he picks up that first one. We know what he's about to be doing.
I'm good. I'm good with the first one. The first one, let it go. But to some of this though, it's like where you're allowing the ball to go to defensively.
That's him watching people take layups. If you can,
yeah, he does.
There you go, Mar. There you go. You said it, Mar. There it is, right there.
He gonna have a front row seat.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be.
I don't understand like everything about. And again, I'll be the hater, quote unquote. But everything about the Nuggets is, how is so-and-so going to guard them? How is so-and-so going to guard them? How is this team going to guard them? When they don't guard.
They do, though.
When you go look, they don't. They're a bottom 10 defense on the league.
He's going to tell you the stats when their whole lineup is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they do guard, though. That's the difference.
But that's cool. But I'm also looking at the games in which even they're winning right now.
Yeah.
A lot of these games they're winning 128 to 123 against the Blazers. 130.
They blew the Blazers out by 45 points like 3 weeks ago.
They're not guarding. They can't guard.
They blew out the Celtics, held them to blow 90 points.
They have the same conundrum in having to try to guard the Spurs as the other way around. They're like that's the.
But fact. I think getting into an offensive matchup with Denver is like. Guard. I think that's the whole thing. If you get into an offensive matchup with a 7-game series with Denver, I think that is going to be the issue.
Yeah, but what you don't understand is that when your defense has liabilities like that, you are easier to score on. I can keep up with you offensively. Why are the Blazers keeping up with Denver offensively?
They made 25 threes. That's the most they've made in their entire legacy.
Why?
Because they made over the top threes for the first time all season. The Nuggets have already blown them out by 53 points this year. You don't ever read it. Matter of fact, you didn't bring that up once when it happened.
I was at that game too.
They blew them out by 53 points.
Hey, real talk, I was there. That was atrocious.
Have they beat y'all?
They beat us at the start of the year. Remember when Jokic got rocked from behind and they called that dumb jump ball and all that?
Foul,
that was an insane call, bro. Yeah, that was an insane call, and we know what happened to that. Yeah, that was the start of the year.
That was the game where I spoke about Jokic no shooting gimmick and swiping.
Yeah, then no, I didn't get mad. I never get mad at Mars. And then they played this last time again, and I don't know what the score was, but they defended him well again. So I think some of this is like situationally it's going to happen. I think the problem is when you get in Denver, we've seen this year after year after year. When Denver starts playing in the playoffs,
year after year, y'all won one championship.
Yeah, and their defense is usually gets better. The issue has always been with them health.
It does.
It's always been health. Last year they were hurt and they lost. They're a better offense.
So why are y'all losing?
Oh, you're talking about
if y'all are better
defense, because they're playing. No, but I'm saying they're playing versus higher level defenses. That changes. That stuff changes, but they adjust on the defensive end. But can you hear?
You got silence.
Exactly.
You go the wrong. It's the wrong mic right now.
No, I got you. But they go. That the whole point is they go 7 games injured. I think that's what I'm trying to communicate to you. If they're healthy and they actually have a lineup and rotations to deal with OKC, to deal with
hurt in 24.
If you have wings, the Nuggets.
Jamal Murray was dealing with like a cough or something.
Yeah, he got
dealing with, but he was playing.
He got hurt. Yeah, he got 38% from the field in that series, and in the Lakers series, he shot sub 40.
You can say there's no game, can you agree?
He shot 40 in the series. In the Lakers series, he shot sub 40.
But you was hurt. You can pick your team to win, but can we agree that this could be close? Like really close?
I never said it wouldn't be. Never said it wouldn't be. Yeah, I think the Spurs are a legitimately great team. There's reasons why. Absolutely.
Toss-up series.
I think the issue is the Nuggets have 3 people. So if De'Aaron Fox is the one that we believe is like the closer, the Nuggets have 3 of those people on the floor, and they have a more reliable offense to get to at the end of the game. Like
so here's what I'll say: the Spurs are young, so I think the version of the Spurs that we're seeing maybe now, like it could be that they've grown a lot over this year. I would assume that a guy like Dylan Harper, a second-year guy like Steph Castle, they're getting on-ball reps, and I think they're just going to be better players in the playoffs than they have been in the regular season. Again, I think they're a really well-coached team, and they scout very well for people who are very psychologically tough-minded. I would be shocked out of my mind if either one of those players dropped an egg in the playoffs. So I think
why would you be surprised a first-year playoff player drops? That happens to everybody.
It doesn't happen to everybody.
It happens to everyone, every star, even Shea happened to Shea. Like LeBron happened to everyone. Everyone does that. Kevin Durant happened to. Like it's ever happened to every player. You play in the playoffs, you're placing coverages you've never seen before, and you're getting schemed every single game in every quarter. So, like, Stephon Castle has.
But if you're the focal point, if you're the focal point of the team, sure, that's different. But these guys are not.
That's not true.
It's
not at all. I watch every game and every minute. It's not how I play defense.
I've been watching the Denver.
No, but that's not their. That's
just
not
so I can come up here and cook you.
No, but you're not asking anything. You've been wrong. You've been wrong multiple times.
No, I haven't.
You've really been wrong. You picked them to win the championship
and I've been right.
You picked them to win the championship start the year.
You see how you keep having to go to 3 years ago?
There's not 3. This happened this year. This literally happened 4 months ago. This happened 4 months ago.
And I've been right. I've been correct.
What were you right about? What were you right about? If they would lose to OKC?
You come up here and you talk as if Denver's they're this super.
I picked him to lose last year.
Stop, be quiet.
No, you're not going to lie to me. I picked
super force that can't be dealt with, and I also heard you pick them over OKC last season. You did that.
And they went to 7.
You did that.
And they went to 7. I said it would. And by the way, shut up. Because since Ron want to drop people, they went to 7 and they lost because they didn't have Aaron Gordon or any healthy players outside of 3 players in the game 7. That's what happened. No, I'm not. No, since Ron want to play around and drop people, that's what happened. They went to 7. I want to keep reminding people they went to 7 with injuries. That's exactly what happened. Now you can come back up. Goodness gracious. So make sure you say it correctly. What you said.
Hey! Stop doing that weak shit. If you're
going to tell the host.
If we're going to talk,
then tell the host. Then tell the host. Then tell the host.
I didn't take.
And tell the host. Then tell the host to do that.
You took me off. I didn't.
You did to me. What you talking about? We are having a debate, and the host should help you. We're having a debate, and the host is helping you for some reason. I don't know why. I picked the Nuggets to lose in the first round. They surprised me in that series, and then picked them to beat OKC. And then never seen them unbeatable. Never that. See, that's the difference. Real talk. I never once said they were unbeatable. Matter of fact, I've said multiple times this year they have to be healthy to win. If they're not healthy, they don't win. That's the difference between me and whatever. No, but that's Denver. Denver in particular needs its wings. They cannot. No, it's not every team. Denver in particular, even with their best players on the floor, they need their wings. They have to have their wings to win. They will not win if they don't have them. So, yes, if they don't have them,
every team needs their best players to play.
I didn't say best players. Notice I didn't say best players. I said their wings.
You said your wings. Best players. Okay, so Aaron Gordon,
Peyton Watson, Spencer Jones, Cam Johnson. Those are the wings.
No, those are some of your best players. What do you mean? Murray and they're in your rotation. Those are some of your best players.
We're just talking about just all around roster because their best players are obviously the main three players. But outside of those three players, this is what I'm talking about.
You're dumb. I'm not.
First off, there is no dumb. Watch your mouth. Stop talking like that. That's what I'm telling you. Stop talking crazy. Stop talking crazy. I'm not calling you dumb. I'm not calling you dumb. I'm not calling you dumb. Watch your mouth. That's what I said to you. Watch your mouth. I'm not calling you dumb. Nobody's calling you dumb. We disagree with basketball. Keep it on basketball. If we no, I haven't said it to you. I haven't said it to you. No. Ron, hold on, real talk. Wait a minute. Ron, you own up, Ron. You dropped me first to cut me off while I was talking for Real Talk. Do what he's doing. I didn't drop Real Talk to make my point. That's what happened. So Ron is the one that started this nonsense.
Ron is to get an equal point. I don't know if y'all don't see this.
What I'm saying is Real Talk. No, I'm not calling you dumb. I just disagree, and I want to be spoken about correctly. I don't believe if they're not healthy, they're not winning. That's what I said. They need to have their guys.
I'm calling you dumb. I'm just kidding. I'm not.
They need to have their guys in order to win. That's all I'm saying.
That's every elite.
I know, but Real Talk. You said it was bad.
Let me finish the point. When I say your best players, I'm meaning the people that you know are going to be in your rotation come playoff time. Those are the team's best players. I'm saying your best 6, 7, 8 guys. Those are your best players. Aaron Gordon is a part of your best players. Mm-hmm. So is Peyton Watson. So is Christian Brown. They're all going to be in your rotation, in your playoff rotation. So those are some of your best players. You can't dismiss it as, they're just winning.
Yeah, but I'm saying, they in particular, they do need their 5th, 6th, and 7th men to be healthy to win.
Yeah, they need the people that are athletic that can guard. Yeah.
Yes, I agree, but that goes to the defense point.
That is an inherent, and what this is a crazy thing. That is an inherent flaw everybody realizes with the Knicks. That is an inherent flaw everybody realizes with the Lakers.
What is the flaw with the Knicks? I can't. No, you have to get to the point. What are you saying?
I am. Just be quiet so I can. This is the inherent flaw that people see with the Knicks. This is the inherent flaw people see with the Lakers. Yet we try to just ignore it with Denver. Your best 2 players are gapping holes on defense. They are easy targets defensively.
Well, one of them
Murray is a bad defensive player. He is. So is Nikola Jokic. And that is why y'all are repeatedly in games.
But he's proven not to be multiple times, though.
Why y'all are?
What you mean? Jokic have been proven not to be a bad.
He's proven to be a positive defender for the team multiple times. So yes, having those defenders.
Is he a good or bad defender?
He was in the playoff last year. We had this discussion multiple times. You disagree on that. You don't think he played good defense last year. He proved to be. Again, that's what I'm saying. If you don't believe that, that's based on what you believe about Jokic inherently. He absolutely was a good defender for the team last year.
What I saw. Why you like what? Okay.
Because
so if I don't believe that
Jokic better with him on the floor defensively last year, and then he was a positive rim protector last year. He did all the stuff.
Okay, you gonna say positive based on what? Based on some numbers?
Based on the same thing we talked about in the regular season.
I'm watching the game.
Meaning that when he was a better rim protector in the playoff than he was in the regular season, the defense was 15 points better than it was in the regular season.
Based on what?
We are going in very Suedo directions right now.
No, hold on. I don't give a shit about no Slater. Based on what, Swiper? He was better at rim deterrence based on
what? Based on rim protection, raw rim protection.
Okay, what is that calculated by? How did you?
Literally, it's just how a team shoots with you on the floor at the rim.
Formula works.
Just give him the formula,
basic stuff.
Okay,
it's the same thing you do with Chet, Wemby, anybody else.
How that formula works.
How does the formula work?
Yeah.
It means the player when they attempt the basket near you or at the rim, they can do this across the court. You do the same thing on spot up shooting. You do the same thing on drive. You can do it wherever. How a player or how a team shoots with you on the floor when they're in the vicinity of the rim or just a 2-point shot or a 3-point shot. It's all calculated. And then there's an effective field goal percentage that's based on the standard rate. And then they shoot better than that, which they do versus Jokic in the regular season. which is like 65, 68%. And then you do that worse in the playoffs, which just goes down to a -4, -6, -8. Like in the 2023 NBA run, the playoff
Did
run,
the volume go down?
No, it went up. No, because you still have to attack. He's a center. You can't avoid a center. Like, you can't avoid a center.
And what was the defensive game plan last year in the playoffs? It was, especially against OKC.
Yeah.
And please don't drop me because you disagree with what I'm saying.
I don't have to drop you.
And also, let me say this. You can't also be one talking about respect and you don't let anybody else speak. So be quiet when other people are talking.
You call me dumb, I'm not going to use disrespectful.
But you had already dropped me. You had already dropped me. Thank you, Ron.
I got you.
So this is what I'm saying. Last year in the playoffs, we saw the defensive plan of Denver against OKC. What was it? Heavy zoning. We're trying to keep Jokic near the rim. And guess what? OKC quite literally just missed shots. You were giving them open shots and they missed. Anytime OKC made shots, they mopped the floor with you. It wasn't even close. Anytime the ancillary players of OKC made open shots, the games weren't even close. Y'all not fucking with them, but we have to keep acting like Denver. We have to keep acting like, be quiet, that Denver's on OKC's level, and they are not. We have to keep acting like Denver they're on San Antonio's level, and they're not. These people think playing defense, chat, is a zone and NBA players missing wide open shots repeatedly.
They're not all wide open shots.
Version of defense. That is their version of defense.
Just for context, so people can understand what happened. So in games 3 and 4, what actually happened is Denver, over the course of the series, shot worse from 3 than OKC did on open threes or contested threes. That was actually the problem. They shot 30% on open threes in that series. OKC shot 32%. The real issue was they didn't have the requisite players on the perimeter to finish the possessions. For instance, as Real Talk remembers, in game 5, Jokic had 15 points in that fourth quarter. They had 0 points from anybody else in the fourth quarter of that game. Jamal Murray, wide open threes, didn't make them. Christian Brown, wide open threes, didn't make them. Russell Westbrook had an air ball over the three-point line. If any other player, and I want to be very clear about this, when any other player joined Jokic in game 5, OKC is down 3-1. I'm not done. Let me finish. So what happens is, because we're going to he's bringing up the OKC series. I'm bringing it up in
but I think it's just quite obvious.
The issue is that OKC also had issues guarding Denver multiple times. OKC was also allowing for Denver to shoot threes multiple times. OKC was having issues guarding the inverted action with Nikola Jokic the whole rest of the series down the stretch. If Jokic, to Real Talk's point multiple times, had a regular game in game 3, had a regular game in game 4, they win that series. If they would have made any of their shots in open three-pointers, then they would have won that series. That's the issue. That was the difference. What I'm saying this year, Real Talk, is that they need their guys to be able to play requisite defense, but also what they need, the same thing they need this year. They had OKC down to the wire, 2 games they played to go last time. Cam Johnson had a wide open 3 to end the game before it got into overtime with 7 seconds left with the game on the line and missed it. That has been the difference between Denver and OKC in their head-to-head matchup. They went to 7 last year because they have ways OKC can't guard Denver when they start hitting shots. And Real Talk doesn't want to acknowledge, in the first game when Jokic had 42, 22, and 6, they were frying them the whole rest of the second half. Couldn't stop Denver. Denver had an 8-point lead at the top of the fourth quarter in game 5. Couldn't finish the game. Game 6, OKC couldn't guard Denver. Literally, they were frying them. They won by double digits in game 6. And at the start of game 7, if everybody remembers what happened, the narrative after the end of the first quarter, Jokic was frying OKC. And then what happened? They took Murray, they took Jokic out, and all of a sudden they went on their little blitz versus the non-Jokic, non-Murray minutes, and it was a blowout. And they had injuries. So I think the difference, because they were guarding. Shea went back-to-back games, mind you, shooting 8 of 25 and 7 of 22 versus Christian Brown. To this day, just so we understand, in this same season, their second game they played this year, Shea was 1 for 6 in the fourth quarter, getting guarded by Christian Brown, and he was getting strapped, and he was getting blocked on jump shots.
It was one-on-one.
So to say what?
It was on one-on-one.
Of course, it was one-on-one. It was the same one-on-one he played versus any guard in the league. All
right, but how do we?
Wait. Just to be clear, does OKC play Jokic one-on-one?
No, but they have the defensive personnel to not, and that's the point.
Alex,
that is the point. That is the point. When you say stuff like, "Oh, if Jokic just would have had a regular game," the point is that
OKC is more equipped to cause Jokic to not have a regular game than Denver is to Shea. That's the point.
Bro, we are in the defensive dark ages
completely to try to guard SGA. You have to ball pressure him with Christian Brown, heavy gap help, pre-rotate with Jokic. You have to do all of that. And yes, do you want to say OKC does that? Absolutely. However, we all know up here that OKC is one of the best rotating teams we've ever seen in NBA history. They have some of the most, that's why they invest in length and foot speed and quickness. That's their whole defensive concept, is to be able to give major help and rotate out of that. They're the best defense in the league. So yes, I'm going to bank on the team that is, oh my God, chat, new idea, elite offensively and an elite defense. Again, they can cause Jokic to not have regular games more often than vice versa. That's the point. So it should be the Spurs as well if Wemby is Wemby. But we'll have to see that in the playoffs, and maybe have an agenda for that. But again, OKC, y'all not fucking with them. Y'all just not. It is what it is.
We'll see. I mean, again, even the games this year have gone down to the clutch. So I think some of this is going to be like OKC, for all of their prowess, they always end up in a tight game with Denver, despite Denver's defensive issues.
And they always win.
But no, they actually don't. They actually don't. I think some of this, they literally do not, by the way. They literally just truly do not. Like, so I just want to be clear about that. They don't. No. I think real talk, sometimes when you talk, you got to remember, like, they don't. Last year, the two teams played 11 times. They went 6-5 in those matchups. This year, the one that they lost, the first game, OKC blowout. You're right. And then the one that they had, Cam Johnson doesn't make that three, goes to overtime. Shade's not on the court. They lose. They lost. That last game they had, remember, Jokic and SGA were going bar for bar. Jokic had 11 points in the forecourt, SGA had 10. Made the sidestep three over Spencer Jones. They're going to the clutch. So I think some of this is real talk. I believe that OKC should be the favorite. I'm cool with you having OKC as the favorite. I'm not even arguing that. I'm saying that when they play versus each other, some of this has to come down to they have to be able to convert those shots off the looks they're going to get from them over-helping on Jokic and Murray. Now, did that mean they'll be more successful than OKC will be on the other side? Hey, you know what? They may not be, because OKC is that good of a team. I agree with you, real talk. I think OKC should be the favorite. But I think to say that, I think the Spurs are a different case. I think the Spurs don't have the same mechanism to attack Denver, especially in late game, real talk. I think you agree with that. Wemby doesn't have the kind of skill set that really can challenge them, because he's not a great over-the-top shooter. He's not a great driver. He's also not strong enough to bully some of the players they have on the perimeter or AG. You know, I think that's a favorable series for them in some ways. Now, OKC is going to be very difficult.
Spurs would have to beat y'all more so figuring out a way to try to get stops than scoring with
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Wow, y'all found agreement.
But if Wemby's on Jokic, just real talk, you're cooked. It's a 40-point series.
It's
40 points a game.
It's pretty great that we're
40 points a game.
Where there's
no. Real talk. You can at least admit that.
I'm not cooked either way. If he cooks Wemby, I'm not cooked because of
wait. He was fried him. Fried Rudy Gobert. Fried Bam. He even said that the Suns would beat him. So real talk, this is what y'all don't understand. Real talk, respectfully. And I'm doing this. I'm doing this right now, respectfully. I'm saying this right now. I just want to get this off. I'll bring it back up. I'll bring it right back up. I'm saying real talk has been wrong about Jokic for years. This built up blood that he had, this is a vendetta. This is about protecting Anthony Davis. This is about protecting Anthony Davis. This is what it is about. This is about protecting his legacy. He has been literally eyeing and looking at this man saying there's no way he could be this good. And every single year he keeps getting better. And now he got a healthy squad. Matter of fact, real talk, if he has a healthy squad, you are cooked. I want you to come to Atlanta. You taking me to Hungry AF. I'm getting everything on the menu. I'm running up a $200 meal, and I'm winning. I'm eating good. Ron, you invited too. I can't wait. I can't wait till we get there. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I can't wait.
If the Nuggets beat
OKC, that sounds good to me.
You know, if the Nuggets beat OKC, we can't do dinner or something. I get
No, you owe me way for that energy. You owe me way more than that. You owe me a band for that.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the chat throw smoke and the host go ham. You ain't never seen hoops all hit the raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.